Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys for 1K subscribers. Yay! Listen, I am so happy for this moment, this milestone. This will only make me work harder to provide quality content. I will be investing in better quality and more usable content. I also plan to do a giveaway at the end of the month, so stay tuned for that information. I will post a separate video with details. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. Struggling to find your purpose in life or your sense of self. Struggling to find your reason for getting up each day. What does purpose or sense of self means to you? Why are you here? I had those same questions at one point in my life, and I had to figure that out. Questioning one's purpose is a deep and profound question asked, and the answer is sometimes elusive. Society instills in us at a young age the idea that we have to know why we are here in order to thrive, or that we should be able to talk about purpose easily and confidently with people at any given moment. Society also gives the idea that if we can't find our purpose, then we are failing in life, or if not found by a certain age, then we are a failure. But what is purpose or sense of self? What is your purpose? Who are you? Why are you here? As humans, we are naturally flawed. We are not perfect, and finding our purpose may look different from the next person. We naturally have that sense of wanting to feel good about who we are and want to fit into this world. We want to feel good about matching our desires with our goals and seeing them come true. Having a clear sense of purpose is invaluable. However, let's take a brief look at what a renowned psychologist had to say. Sigmund Feud says that the self is multi-layered. You have the ego, the id, and the superego. Sigmund Freud believes all three must be in unison for a person to have a strong sense of self. So let's look at each of these and give an example of each of them. Number one, you have the id. The id is driven by instant gratification of all our wants, desires, and our needs. For example, the id may say, I want to eat right now. Or, I want to be a YouTube star making lots of money right now. Instant gratification before putting in any work. Now, if these needs are not satisfied immediately, the result is a state of anxiety or tension. The id undoubtedly is very important in the early stages of development to ensure that the infant's needs are being met. Babies and infants are ruled completely and utterly by the id. Imagine trying to reason with a baby to wait until it's lunchtime for them to be fed, or to be changed on my 15-minute break. Whoa, that would be disastrous, because a baby has no sense of self. They rely on the parent for every need to be met. So according to this, our id is the impulse center of our being. Now let's look at this as it relates to the sense of self. If you are a person who operates on impulses and wanting instant gratification, I want to eat right now, you may find yourself starting tasks and not completing them. I say that again. Starting tasks and not completing them, hence impacting your self-confidence. We could also attribute this impulse behavior to some criminal behavior such as robbing. We want what we see when we see it. Or to someone who wants to lose weight but they want to see results tomorrow. They didn't eat today and they expect to lose 5 pounds tomorrow. So again, that impulse center drives some of us behaviors. It drives what we want when we see it, when we want it. I want it now. That kind of behavior is what the id supports. Now let's look at the ego. The ego is developed from the id, and it acts to manage the id. The ego controls the impulses from the id. I want to eat right now, and provides a better way of doing things. In other terms, the ego functions in our conscious, our preconscious, and our unconscious mind. So let's revisit the example I gave in the id. Instead of, I want to eat right now, the ego would say, you can't do that. You can't do that right now because you are meeting with a client. So it's not saying, hey, you're not hungry, just you can't do that at this moment. So it brings you back to reality and weighs the pros and cons of the impulse. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Now, the superego is the third part of this. The superego is a part of the mind that holds the standards and ideals that we acquire from our parents and from society, which is our sense of right and wrong. Right? Following me? The superego civilizes our behaviors and suppresses unacceptable urges of the id. It also struggles to make the ego act upon idealistic standards rather than realistic principles. Oh, again, let's revisit the example that I gave in the id. The id said, I want to eat right now. The ego said, you can't eat right now because you are meeting with a client. What do you think the superego is going to say? The superego would say, eating while meeting with a client is rude and inappropriate. Morals, values, right, wrong. That's what the superego does. So it pushes the morals while the ego lives in reality. What does this have to do with finding your sense of purpose? Good question. Good question. As humans, we constantly need to make decisions regarding anything and everything. This causes an inner conflict between the workings of the id, ego, and superego. The will to live and have a sense of self perpetuates the need for survival. So yes, understanding the id, the ego, and the superego is super important. Why is finding your purpose or sense of self important? One, it gives meaning to your life. You know what you love to do, what you are good at, and how you can contribute to the world. Two, it gives you a sense of self. Having a sense of self gives you a clearer sense of who you are. Not having a sense of self can have you constantly scanning for cues on how to be and how to live. This in turn can cause stress, anxiety, and depression. Three, it boosts your confidence. Having a strong self-confidence makes you trust in your abilities, your qualities, and your judgment. This can in turn increase your self-motivation. Four, it enhances your mental well-being. It reduces stress, reduces depression, reduces anxiety, and reduces self-doubt. Number five, it promotes a healthier relationship. Finding your purpose not only impacts how you feel about yourself, but helps you better understand and love others. It gives you the strength to walk away from relationships without having to burden your thoughts. So, how do you begin to find your purpose or your sense of self when you feel doubt about your abilities, not knowing what you have to offer, what you're good at, or even when you have people relying on you or even doubting you? One, change your expectations. We are programmed from childhood to meet the expectations of our parents and role models. These expectations gives us something to look up to and work towards, only to find later in life that is not what you want for yourself. Parents often push children into traditional careers such as doctor, lawyers, which may bring some success but others frustration. Number two, stop comparing yourself to others. Find your own niche. Find what you're good at. Perfect it. Work on it for yourself. Know that no matter what you think you have to offer, it may be a blessing to someone else. Be different and not always wanting to follow the crowd or the norm. What is purpose to me, to Trevene? It's my gifts, my passion, my value equals my purpose. My gifts are my skills and talents. My passion is something that you feel deep curiosity and interest for, while values is your beliefs, your standards, what is important to you. Put it all these three together and you have your purpose, which looks different from someone else. I will end on this. We create purpose and sense of self through our intentions and actions. Purpose is not found, but more so created by you. So that's it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. If you are new, glad to have you as part of the family. 1K and growing. Oh my goodness. If you are returning, hey, good to see you again. Guys, thank you so much for your support. And stay tuned for that giveaway video. I have something good for you guys. And as always, please like, share, comment, and help me grow this channel. And let's continue the discussion in the comment section. Let me know what your thoughts are as it relates to finding your purpose. What are some things you had to implement into your life to find a deeper sense of self? What are some things that you are doing to continuously promote your sense of self? Let me know your thoughts down below, guys. And as always, I will see you in the next video.